recording has started. Hello! Welcome to an FPS. My name's Breaks. I'm playing Peake, a Cheshire Cat UPA. Welcome to an FPS. My name's Breaks. I'm playing Peake, a Cheshire Cat UPA, and I'm joined today by the lovely Yuni.
Yes, hello, I am Yuni. I am playing Wazzle, famed for his silver screen role as the disaster bunny um, rogue who is going through some stuff and needs a break.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez. He's just come fresh out of being teleported twice. Uh, three times, kind of, if you count like being rescued that first time. But yeah, then when,
Kind of.
yeah.
Yeah, so in case you haven't listened to the silver screen, which you should because it's fun and both of us are on it and it's good. um, Wazzle was reunited with his bastard dad, who then quote unquote grounded him. Most people would say locked him in a prison.
Mm-hmm.
And then the group rescued him. And then while they were trying to teleport to their next location, Wazzle immediately got teleported back to the castle because he probably, I guess, pissed off one of the luck gods. I don't know.
Oh, who knows?
Um, who knows?
Yeah.
And so, because he escaped being grounded, verse slash escaped from a dungeon, now there are guards looking for him, and he is looking for a place to hide.
Very good. Uh, shall we say that? I guess I'm guessing probably one of the guards has managed to spot Wazzle, being he used up a good number of his spells escaping, trying to escape in the first place.
That's
So,
true. Yeah,
yeah.
he is low on spells aside from yeah, his cantrips, which are not terribly useful in this circumstance.
Yeah. So I believe the capital is happiest place, correct? Correct?
Yes, we're
Okay.
in happiest place.
Okay, so I'd say Wazzle is being pursued down like one of the back streets of Happiest Place, one of those areas where like it's usually one that people like just commute through, so it's a bunch of those repeating buildings. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Uh, and I'm guessing, considering that you have the potential on your side, if you're thinking I gotta find a place to hide, I gotta find a place to hide, you probably got the little potential HUD giving you some tips on which way to turn.
Yes. Oh God, I love that way of putting it. Yeah, he is called upon his little um his fancy silver eye shine to trace a path of where safe places might be. And of course it's just for potential, so it doesn't it
It's not a
points in a few
guarantee.
different directions.
Hmm.
But he is sort of doing his best to pick the one that sort of has the strongest stream behind it of a safe place to hide.
Okay.
Um, should I roll something like I don't know,
Um, let's
uh,
say,
stealth or
yeah, how about stealth to see if like you've noticed that like as you're passing one, thieves can't. You being a rogue, you're familiar with thieves can't. You notice a single white star beside one of the doors there, and that's usually a sign of safe harbor for thieves.
okay, that's a good sign then. Um, 12.
12.
Uh, not the best. You know what? For once, I'm actually going to have him remember to use his lucky feet so he can
Yeah!
re-roll.
Awesome.
Jeez, I've forgotten to use it so many times. So re-roll d20. Blah blah blah.
Nice.
16.
Yeah. Very
Okay.
nice.
Good.
Okay, so you've rounded a corner, you've sprinted down this road, and you can hear, like, I'm gonna say it's like a guard dog, literal guard dog,
Uh huh.
barking behind you. He's hot on your tail, but Waz, you manage to slip into the doorway of this. You test the doorknob, it opens, and you open it up, and I'm guessing you probably close it behind you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Um, you would hear somebody coming up from behind you and tap you on the shoulder.
He spins around. Hello, hi. Uh, who is it?
You see a kind of teal UPN cat toon with a very familiar grin. Ah,
Oh, hey.
hey. Considering that you just ran in here like the devil was on your tail, I'm guessing you're being pursued?
Yeah, you could say that. Can I hide behind, like, I don't know, your counter or something real quick?
Uh, yeah, I think we can arrange something. And she pulls out like literally right next to the door there is like a few packages. She takes one and she brings it down over your head and does that lovely thing where cartoons like they squash down to the floor and then you just kind of pop back up like a rubber band. And you're now in a barista outfit, complete with like a big old afro and little Prince Nez disguise.
He goes, this is not what I meant, but okay.
Well, if you're gonna be behind the counter, I expect a little bit of help in return.
Oh, well, I guess. Okay. And he's like sort of glancing back at the door, and he's like, "It's the better option than being out there." So,
Probably. Um, Now, if you take the time, do you want to take a look around at your surroundings at the moment?
yeah, he's looking around. It has been a while since he's been here. But I believe he has come here before.
Yeah, probably. Probably a long time ago, though.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. It's mostly what you remember. It's a. It used to probably be somebody's home, but it's been converted into like a little coffee house. So there is definitely a little bar that you can stand behind, as well as like a little glass case of a small assortment of like treats. But the big thing is like the big mechanical steamy valves coming out of the back wall that lead into like a coffee tap, kind of. Uh, and off to the side, there are, of course, little booths for folks to sit in, and you can see that there are a few patrons at this time. I would say this is probably kind of mid morning, considering
Mm-hmm.
where we left off. Uh, but yeah, not many patrons, which is odd considering it is a coffee house, but it's not exactly advertised as a coffee house. It's mostly
Yeah,
for those in the
it's not
know.
really on the main street or anything.
No, it's mostly for those in the know. Um, but yeah, it has a nice, surprisingly comfy atmosphere, considering what you know it to be. Basically, some place that caters to like the villains, the less than
The shady
legal.
underbelly.
Yeah, the shady underbelly of Happiest Place. All right.
uh,
Okay.
and Wazzle sort of glances around and then anxiously sort of scoots towards the counter and he goes, just, long time no see. What do I don't, I've never worked one of these. Do I actually have to make, I don't
Ah,
coffee.
it should be pretty easy. You've got your three different strengths there. You got your small, like the least strength, the middle strength, and the most strength. You just pull the tap for each one and put it into a cup. And if they want a pastry, sell them a pastry. Uh, you can hear like the guard dog. You can now hear like him barking as he's running, apparently coming up closer to the door.
Um,
And let's see. I didn't actually give him any stats. I'll just kind of like roll like a. Okay, stealth it would probably be versus perception. Oh, that's not very good. Okay, so you hear it approaching, and then it just continues on past the door until it fades off into the distance. And Peak, as you know her name to be, uh, kind of just opens the door a little bit, peeks out after him, looks back the other way to make sure there's nobody else coming, and then closes the door, satisfied. Um, and she'll come behind the counter with you and say, "Well, uh, Waz, right? It's been a while."
yeah, yeah. I've been busy. Uh,
Yeah.
and he sort of thinks and he's like, I'm in a weird. Do you have like a room? I know this isn't a tavern or whatever, where do you have like a couch or something?
Yeah, yeah. You're not the first person who's come looking for sanctuary, and I got rooms upstairs you can use. Um, Not free, but if you're willing to help out, during rush hour should be. I need a little help getting set up. Should just be a few hours, and then if you need to crash here for the night, you can do that.
Oh yeah, nothing's free. I know that.
Mhm, mhm.
He glances around and he goes, are, uh, are the are the people who come here, cool?
Yeah, generally, you. She seems a little unsure about it. Like, she doesn't seem to really want to be talking about it, but you might be able to press it out of her, or ask about it, or maybe convince her, persuade her.
um, and he goes, look, I know what the deal is. I've been, I've been here before. I just want to make sure no one's gonna be selling me to the highest bidder.
Oh, generally not. I mean, they know that they could just as easily be sold themselves. Uh, it's more that I don't know who, and if I ever find out who did it, they are going to be in a world of trouble. But somebody advertised our location onto, one of those little trending blogs, whatever they are, like those, they post like little bulletins on it, and uh, we've been getting the occasional hipster coming in, so just keep an eye out for those.
Oh, well, gives the place an air of legitimacy, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. I'd rather do without it. Still.
Um, okay. Thank you. Did I say that yet? Thank you.
Oh.
Um, I yeah.
Eh, that's a small problem, but nothing too big. Uh, anyway, um, come on back and I'll show you how things go. The coffee goes.
Sure, sure. And he sort of itches at the big fake wig and follows her.
Yeah, so she opens one of the doors in the back that you presume leads to wherever the rest of the coffee machinery goes to. And as she opens the door, you know how like when you smells can have kind of a life of their own with cartoons. They like a pie will entice a cartoon
Totally.
to
Yeah,
come
yeah, yeah.
tuner closer. Sort of this, like a whole bunch of them are released, and it's this heavenly smell of coffee, except it's all kind of aggressive. Um, Peak is going to roll probably dexterity to yeah, but roll a dexterity saving throw. Oh,
Powerful.
okay.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, not bad. Peak, having worked here for a long time, she knows exactly what to expect, so she deftly sidesteps like the aggressive, grabby hands of the coffee smell. You do a Waz does a pretty darn good job himself. Like you being pretty still on edge. I imagine like the adrenaline is still like pumping a little, and so you jump out of most of them. There's just one though that like managed to grab a hand on you and just kind of slaps you lightly across the face.
Goes, whew. Um,
Oh yeah, that
like,
that you gotta watch out for that one. That's like the strongest brew in the in the house.
yeah,
Uh,
that is powerful pick me up.
mm-hmm. Yep. Actually, since you got slapped, let's see. That was, and she grabs like a tiny little espresso glass, and she walks into this room, and you can see there are several different like vats of like these brewing stations. And she goes to the one all the way at the back, presumably the one from that actually got a slap in on you. And she pours out like a little bit of this brew into this little espresso cup and takes it over to what looks to be like a little shrine off in the corner. Uh, shows like a little black statue with cat ears and two little rubies for eyes and a tiny little crown right above the head. And she places the espresso right in front of that statue, uh, and takes a moment just to presumably pray before she returns back to you.
I'm actually, I guess I'll have Waz roll a religion check to see if he's actually familiar.
Okay. Oof.
He's not. That's a
No,
six.
no. You can definitely tell that it's meant to be a shrine to some sort of deity, but you're not familiar with whom this shrine belongs to.
Yeah, he's not. He was not exactly raised in a religious environment. And he as once Peak finishes and starts coming back, he goes, "Wow, I didn't figure you the pious type."
Uh, well, as far as religions go, I would say pious doesn't really describe this one very well. Um, this is more a religion for those who want to make trouble.
And he goes, "Ah, well, I guess there's all types.
Hmm,
I don't know."
yeah. Um, and just then you can hear like a little ding from out at the desk. So presumably there's a customer. She says, "Oh, well, okay. You go ahead and out there see what they want, and I'll be out in just a second. I want to make sure everything's running well back here."
Oh, sure. And there's clearly that moment of like, I don't know how to. Okay. um, that first day jitters times 100, especially since he was just getting chased by people. But he does sort of sidle out the door to peek at who came in.
Okay. And who he sees, if Discord will cooperate. There we go. Come on. And there. Is a rather snooty UPAN lady standing impatiently at the front counter. And as soon as she sees you poke your head out of the room, she dings the bell again.
Uh, Hi. He shuffles out the door and quickly closes it behind him. Can I help you?
I certainly hope you can. Oh my god. Okay, seriously? I heard that place was really really cool, and I gotta say, like, making me wait, not cool. So can I get like a coffee?
I believe so. Do you know which kind you want?
Well, what do you have?
We've got the normal, the strong one, and the stronger one.
Ooh. Can I have the stronger one?
Yes. And he it's like, "Boy, I hope I remember this right."
Okay,
um,
how about a quick history roll?
okay. Uh, let's see.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
nice.
yeah, you remember exactly which one it is.
Sweet. So he gets a cup. He uh like very confidently manages to stride over to the right spigot and fill it up and um goes, "Oh, can I get you anything else while you're here, ma'am?"
Hmm. She's like perusing the offering of like pastries on display. But she's kind of like wrinkling her nose up at each one. She's saying, not really. Can I get a discount since I had to wait so long?
"I'm sorry, I don't think I can do that for you."
All right, how much do I owe you?
And there's a blank stare as Ross realizes he has no idea how much anything costs. um, and he like looks around. He's like, "There's gotta be like a menu board somewhere, right?"
Okay, how about a quick perception check then?
Okay. At least he's got a good plus to that. Let's see how Waz's luck holds up this time.
Yes,
Hey, another dirty
nice.
20.
Okay, there isn't anything behind the counter, um, but after giving a moment's of thought, you kind of lean over the counter and look down, and the prices are listed below the counter on the opposite side. Um, and apparently it costs 5 silver for this cup of strongest coffee.
And he points to the menu as though, oh, he was just trying to show her so she would know where to look.
Yeah, even though it was probably right in her line of sight. Oh my
He
gosh, yeah.
goes,
Okay, so
yeah.
so she's like and she reaches into her hammer space and she takes out a bag of coins and she starts bringing out copper pieces. One,
Brilliant.
two, three, and this might go on for a little bit. In the meantime, Peak actually has finished like checking over the machines, and you can hear like a few like hisses, kind of like machinery in the back, and she pokes her head out and she's like, "Everything all right out here?"
Waza goes, oh yes, just you know, getting getting everything paid up very carefully,
I see.
very intently.
Um, hey, hmm. She just realized she doesn't really want to call you by your real name. Um, so,
Um,
new
he
kid. What was your name again?
and he answers immediately. Lazlo.
Lazlo. Okay, Lazlo. Can I have a word with you real quick? And from the corner of your eye, you can see like the customer kind of smirking as she continues to count out the copper. Um, but yeah, Peek's gesturing you to come back into the back room again.
He goes, of course. Excuse me a moment, man. I am so sorry. I'll be right back with you. He slides back and goes, oh God, is this normal? Nothing
Uh,
even happened, and I feel like I'm sweating.
nah, that's pretty usual for New Day stuff. But yeah, here's the thing. I want you to make that lady's life a living hell.
And Wazzle's like, ears sort of perk up, like, oh ho.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not big on the customer service here, and I can tell that lady is like one of those hipsters. Just, just,
Yeah, I
mm-hmm,
did get that vibe a little bit.
mm-hmm,
Okay,
mm-hmm.
you know what? I will, got it. All right.
All right, yes, please make this entertaining.
Wazzle goes, hey, you got it, boss.
Go get him,
Uh,
Lazlo. All right, so now
um,
Peek disappears back
and
into the room, and I don't know if you'd noticed, but like there's like two little holes that appear in like this one portrait above the and there are two little cat eyes looking through them now. All right.
and Wazzle goes back out. Is she still counting?
Yeah. She's currently at, let's see, that was 4 silver, so she's currently at 35, and whoops, you. She notices you come back out, and she's like, "Oh no, I forgot where I was. I'll have to start again."
Oh, that's quite all right, ma'am. Actually, here's an idea. He goes up and he takes all the coins that she has put out so far. He goes, "Why don't you just let me count it all out, and I'm sure it'll go much smoother."
Hmm. Let roll persuasion. 12. Okay.
Well,
Uh, hmm. She doesn't seem to be convinced, honestly. Um, she's like, Excuse me? I am perfectly capable of counting?
And goes, well, you did just get lost counting up to 50, so I figured it would be helping you out a little bit.
Uh, well, excuse me? Excuse me? Can I speak to
He
your manager?
and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you already are, despite the fact
Yes! Yes! And she like looks back at the door and then back at you. I'm gonna have her roll insight just to like because you did just call somebody else ma'am. A 10. Okay, no. Now she's thinking. She seems unsure. Like maybe you are the manager. She's like, well, I can't believe that you're so rude to a paying customer. Like, I have a ton of followers on my bulletin board, and I could get you a lot more patrons.
he goes and oh, we would very much appreciate that. So in order for you to get back to that, how about you just let me take care of it? You don't have to worry about the hard stuff like counting up to 50.
And she gives a very long, frustrated sigh, but apparent, and she just starts tapping one fingernail on the counter like she's waiting.
And Wazzle takes his time counting everything. I don't even know if she's gotten
Like,
like
like by the time you reach 30, like the she has dug like a little, she's tapped like a little hole into the wood of the bar.
and as he gets up, he goes, "Oh, oh, that's strange. Hmm. Seems seems you only put 49 down. Don't worry. I'll recount it just to make sure. We don't want you to overpay." And
I,
he starts counting
and,
again.
and she she just starts stammering, and it's like he starts counting again. She's just like, uh, uh, okay. Tell you what, here. And she pulls out actual silver and puts down five of them and pushes them over.
Oh, well, I'm glad you were able to find those. He happily takes them. Her coffee is very cold at this point.
She is so
um,
miffed she doesn't even notice. She picks it up and she goes to leave. Is there anything parting comment you'd like to make?
goes, "Oh, tell all your friends about the wonderful time you had here, ma'am."
Oh, and like, despite being green, you see like a very pink red tint come to her cheeks, and she opens the door and slams it behind her. And then you hear like a beat later, just like as she tries her coffee, and it's like ice cold.
Oh, and Wazzle goes, "Oh, I needed that."
And Peak like comes back out. She opens the door and comes back out, and she's just like clapping, like, very good, very very good. Ah, yes, love it when those types come in because it is always so fun to see them go.
And goes, "Whew, what I'm curious. What are your methods to cheese them off?"
Hmm. I think my favorite one has been adding a little bit of the color to their drink, or
The
oh
color.
yeah, well yeah, UPAs, and she like
Ah.
takes a little bit of colors and flicks it up into the air and then lands back into her body.
So he nods appreciatively. Goes, "I could not pull that off, unfortunately, but I bet that gives them a real kick in the pants."
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find your own special talent for this one. I liked what I saw there, but don't be afraid to take it a little further.
"Oh, I'm just warming up."
All right. Okay. Let me see here. I never did actually get to show you the machines, did I? Uh, if you want to come back and take a
Yeah,
look.
we got
My pride and joy.
Sidelined.
No worries. So she takes you back into the back room again, dodging again the whiffs of coffee coming at you. Um, she slaps a few of them away, and they start behaving themselves. They're always a little more agitated, like right when you start brewing them, getting them started for the evening's rush, you can say. Uh,
Hmm.
so there are a total of five brewing stations, but only three of them are currently in use. Two other ones are in the back, including the one that actually got a slap in on you earlier.
Hmm.
Um, those two, those two are the special. They're kind of like the off the menu coffee. Uh, Generally only serve it to those who know to ask for them. So this one, the one that got this one, the one that slapped you. Uh, this one we call the well, actually, I haven't really gotten a good name for it yet. It's a bit of an experiment. Well, we'll call them Experiment A and Experiment B then.
Sure. Whatever helps you keep them straight, I guess.
Yeah, until we find like a good name for them. But yeah, uh, this one is just a little bit above our strongest coffee. Generally, don't only serve like one cup of that to a customer and then turn them away. This one, she points to Experiment B, uh, is extremely caffeinated. Uh, Definitely only serve to tunes. Never serve it to real kind if they make it in here. And only in the smallest glass that we have. She like points out the espresso glass over near the shrine, which you see now is empty.
And he does a double take at that. He's like, well, either Peake drank that while I was out front, or
And she doesn't. She knows the double take, but she doesn't say anything. Um, but yeah, just the espresso glass, no more. Cut them off after that. We had a issue with one guy clipping through the walls. That was that was a rough day. Very entertaining though.
oh man, I, I gotta be honest, kind of want to see it.
I do too. Okay, you can do it to one person today because it is a mess to get them out of the walls if they stop clipping in the middle of it. But make sure it's worth it. Okay.
All right, fair.
All right.
And as he's saying that, he's sort of looking over the machines and asking questions, and figure Peake's just sort of giving him the rundown of what he needs.
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
yeah. Which valves and levers to turn to make sure things work correctly, and which valves and levers to turn if you want to make things interesting.
mhm. And as he's sort of going through it, getting the hang of it, you hear from out front, ding 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 ding.
Oh, okay. Tell you what, I'll go handle this one since you had the last one. You just familiarize yourself back there, and she points out the
Uh,
eye holes. Or if you just want to watch. All right.
Maybe I'll learn a few things.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So Peak glides back out to the counter.
And for a moment, it looks like no one's there. But then a tiny little hand reaches up above the counter and again starts hitting it. Ding, 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 ding. And pull up a picture. Ornate kind of a goblin figure
Oh, okay.
in the literal sense.
Oh.
He's green, he's short, and he's smiling, but you get the feeling it's because he has too many teeth in his mouth rather than actually being happy.
Mm. Oh my gosh. So cute. Oh my gosh. Okay. Peak, perpetually smiling herself, makes a pretty good pair for this one. So she leans over the counter and says, "Hi, what can I get for you today?"
He says, I require beans.
Beans. The brewed kind or the crunch kind?
I want the crunchy beans
The
to
crunchy
give
bean.
me the power.
Power. Power for what?
Power of the beans.
I can understand that. Exactly how much power do you want on these beans?
As much power as one can reasonably obtain, which is all of the power, for I desire to be very powerful. Give me your most powerful beans.
I can get behind this. Okay, hang on here. All right, so she goes back into the back room. she she nudges Waz and like I don't know if he was looking through the keyholes in her. Said, "Oh my gosh, we got like a little megalomaniac goblin out there. He wants all the power. I'm gonna give him all the power." So she goes back and she goes to the like this bin of like coffee beans, the ones like that she uses for experiment B. Um,
Yes, good.
and she takes like one whole scoop and makes like a good sized bag, like it's probably something that is about as big as the goblin's head itself.
Good.
Uh,
Very good.
yes, and then she takes it back out and sets it up on the counter and says, "Okay, now this is my very special blend. Uh, Best taken in small doses, but you know what? You look like you know what you're handling, so I mean, go ahead, make the whole pot. Drink it all at once, see what happens. But yeah, this bag is going to cost you, let's see, this one's going to be 10 gold.
And he pulls out one of the beans from the bag, sniffs it, and then just sort of crunches on it, just like throws it in his mouth and chomps it between his over large teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, these are beans of power. However, the price is too much for the beans. You have not done anything to these beans. I require them to be less.
Hmm. Well, it's hard for me to get these beans in. So I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little bit of a secret of the trade, what I do to make these beans extremely effective. What do you say? And it'll be 10 gold. Beans plus a little info.
And he leans in, um, uh, you know, smiling intensely wide and goes, yes, tell me the secret of your beans.
I love him so much. All right, and so like she comes around the counter, kneels down and whispers the secrets of the beans into this little goblin's ear. And she pulls away and she says, "Now that I have entrusted this with you, I must ask that you make a solemn vow to cause as much trouble with these beans as you possibly can."
And he goes, I will cause all of the problems. Um,
All right, excellent. Okay, then the agreed upon sum of 10 gold.
and then his ears droop a little bit, and he goes, "It's time for me to make a confession. You do
What's your
not have all of the 10 golds,
Hmm. Well,
but I can provide you with with my own secret."
ah, and what secret would that be?
He pulls out a small bag from his own cloak
Hmm.
and sort of rummages through it and pulls out three small stones, um, and puts them on the counter. He points at a sort of greenish gray one. He goes, "May toss this at problem peoples who defy you in order to cause them great damage.
Oh.
You may toss this." And he points at a shiny black one to bring up a great cloud of smoke in your escapage. And you may use this. And he points at a lovely blue green one and goes, "Because it is very pretty."
That it is. You know what? That sounds like a pretty good exchange. Problems for problems. All right.
And he nods emphatically and goes, you take My jewel, I take your beans. We have done a fair exchange of of our goods.
Seems like it. All right. Uh, Come back anytime, please. Would be happy to have you. Let me know what happens with these beans.
And he smiles and goes, "Should all of the disasters go as planned, you will not need me to tell you. But
Oh,
I
excellent.
will come back again for more of your delicious and powerful beans."
Oh,
He
anytime.
takes another handful and just crunches them and turns
Excellent.
out.
Oh my gosh. What an excellent tiny bean. Oh, I love him. Oh, and Peek just like she pockets the stones and she watches this little goblin dude walk out with his giant head-sized bag of beans and she is just so happy right now. Ah.
um,
All right, and then she returns back behind the counter and into the room. And she's like, "Oh, Waz. Oh, I love customers like this. Here, uh, she
and Wazzle, you get the feeling from looking at him, he was having a very hard time not laughing in the background.
oh man. Yeah, next time that guy comes in, I hope maybe you'll get a chance to interact with him yourself. But oh wow, he's a lot of
Seems
fun.
like a fun one.
Oh yes, I'm always happy when those types come in. Ah, so think you can handle? Think you got a handle on things back here?
He goes, yeah.
Mostly. Okay, yeah, I got it. All right.
uh,
So, um, you were running from the law. Now that's probably causing problems, which I admire. But I do hear like talk about the supposed lost son of the king.
oh God, have the rumors gotten that far? I mean, no, I don't. What's that?
She's- I think she'll roll in. I think Peak will roll insight on this one.
Sure.
21.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. She. Yeah. She. Judging by from your reaction, she definitely heard you, Waz. She's like,
yeah.
okay, yeah. So the rumors are true. Good to know. Um,
Well, I mean, they're not untrue, but they're also I mean, come on. You know from your work here, I assume the king is an idiot and a bastard, and some things are best staying lost.
hmm, I hear that. Also, one of the reasons I try to cause as much trouble in this town as I can. Uh,
You get it.
mm-hmm. The king's a bastard. Uh, but eh, I guess if a lost son wants to stay lost, he can.
I wish I could. Um, it's been a while since I've been in, and that's because I haven't really been in town a whole lot lately, and unfortunately, it looks like there's only so much longer I can keep avoiding him.
Hmm. Well, I mean, Inkwell's a big continent. Could go like the Ghibli Empire, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, it's tempting. I've gotten roped up in this whole, I don't know, world saving garbage that a bunch of hero types suckered me into, and uh,
Like she's leaned up against like one of the brewing machines and tipped over one of the levers, and there's like a giant cloud of steam escaping that she's just completely ignoring at the moment because all of her attention's on you. Eh.
and well, I'm not. It's a real pain. I'm not the hero type, but I don't know.
Hmm.
one of those things where you get to a certain point and it's like, oh, I can't leave now. I want to leave now. Could leave now. Should I leave now? I hate it.
Mm.
Everything was so much easier when I don't know, had to worry about food the next day.
Yeah, certain simplicity to that. Uh,
Don't
but
get me wrong, it was hell, but
mm. So you think you want to go back to that?
no. I mean, I just wish things could be easy for once, but seems my luck isn't letting me get away with life that easy.
Hmm. Easy lives are for suckers. What you got?
Uh,
What you got of problems and opportunities? Problemtunities? Probabilities. Whatever. But anyway, luck. I mean, if it was all good luck, life would be pretty boring.
yeah, I guess. I just wish I don't know. It seems like it's been nothing but bad luck for me for a long time.
Hmm. How unfortunate. Uh, you recognize my little shrine back there?
And he glances back towards it. He goes, I recognize it's a shrine.
Okay. Um, well, I guess a little awkward for how she usually operates, but I happen to worship the goddess of misfortune.
He sort of raises an eyebrow. He goes, and how's that working out for you?
Oh, it is fantastic. Uh, it's not so much having things dumped on you, it's getting things started, like a good kick in the pants, you know? You know, making trouble, causing others misfortune. And, because they have to move out of their comfort zone. They have to get away from what they know and move into things where they aren't comfortable. But, I mean, sometimes it doesn't end up great, but it ends up different. I mean, we're toons. We live with change. If you stay in one place too long, what are you, real kind? We need change.
I guess that's a point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Still, I can understand having too much of it thrown at you once. So usually I try to help out where I can. If you're feeling lost, well, I definitely can't solve your problems for you, but I can give you a little downtime.
he goes, yeah. I don't think anyone can solve this for me, but some time to just breathe would be pretty great.
Mm. At that point, like one of the coffee wafts is like coming a little close to you, um, and instead of like smacking across it, it just gives you kind of like a pat on the head.
Goes, oh, that's a much nicer sort of smell, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, when they have a chance to mellow down, they're a little friendlier. Don't trust experiment in A or it's experiment B. Don't trust them.
Noted.
Okay. But yeah. Well, you want to see about maybe making the round, seeing if any of the folks in the booze want a refill or something?
Sure. Also, do you make the pastries here? Should I learn how to make the pastries?
No, I
Good
don't make
luck
the
with me.
pastries. I can't cook worth a darn. I get them in from uh like a little bakery. Nice
Oh,
place.
thank God.
Yeah.
I do not know how to cook.
No, don't worry. No. I know how to brew. I can make coffee. Can't cook. Uh,
Okay.
and I mean, it'd be great to have that kind of problem, because bad food is pretty darn funny. But I'd also have to eat it. Eh,
uh, you gotta endure the taste of your own medicine sometimes.
Oh yeah, isn't that the truth? But I do make frosting for them. Um, Actually, I put little spells into them. Sometimes I have to order out for the spells, but here, she gestures you to follow back out to the pastry case, and inside you see a selection of three of them. Uh,
He
if I once again, if I can find them. Oh, there's one.
oh.
All right. This one's a croissant. Uh, you can do that, and if you feed it to somebody, you'll get like there's this lovely little spell called calm emotions. If you feed that to them, it'll act like that. Just kind of get them a little more mellow. A good one for if you got a little too much trouble on your plate. Uh, then a very handy one here for when we've had like you know the the guards show up. The forget me not. Uh, as a yeah, like this one's my favorite. It's expensive, but it has a one use of the word, the spell command. It makes the guards forget, basically. Good for, sending them off down a different trail. And let's see, I think we had the creepy artwork. Where are you? Well, if I can find it. There's another, it's a cruller, but it's got like little green eyes iced onto the top. And this is the creepy cruller. Uh, this one has one use of spider climb. There it is.
oh,
So if you need to, make an escape in a different up a building or something, very handy. Also pretty tasty, gotta say.
oh, you know what? I'm impressed. You put a lot of work into making this place functional in more ways than one.
Oh, absolutely. Uh, Thanks. I mean, it's been a lot of work getting it to this point, but I mean, you know, guard comes in here at the wrong time, it could all go down the drain. So
Yeah,
I
I know
suppose
the
it's all
feeling.
about enjoying it while it's here.
Well, seems you've made it last a long while, so
Yeah,
on ya.
thanks. Um, Here, you take one. We'll call it a tip.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Um, and he grabs one of those creepy crawlers.
Nice. Good choice.
And he goes, "All right, well, better put back on my customer service hat. See if anyone else needs a brew."
And
Um,
remember, chaos.
oh yes, chaos.
And actually, as like they're saying that it's been kind of in the background because there's like been like that low coffee house murmur that you usually hear, but you can hear there's. It sounds like there's a bit of an altercation stirring from off in the corner, where there's like a little blank spot where you'd have like a house band playing, but a sign above it says "Evil soliloquies, no more than 10 minutes, please." Uh, and the the guy who's sitting like standing in on the stage at the moment has apparently gone well over his limit, and the rest of the patrons are getting a little agitated. Uh, the guy that you see on the stage looks like this, and when Peake looks over and sees him, he's like, "Oh boy, that." is Ben Frontskid. Uh, you can yeah. He's been in here like pretty much every day for the past week, taking up the evil soliloquy spot. Um, yeah, tell you what, make it worse. I don't know for like the patrons, for him, but uh, yeah, have fun with this guy.
All right. I'll see whose day I can make worse.
Okay. Yeah.
Then Wazzle sort of sidles up just to like listen in for a moment to see what this guy's very thorough monologue is all about.
um, and as you're listening, it seems rather repetitious, which is perhaps why the rest of the patrons are getting a little restless. But it's all along the lines of, "Oh, those Dunder Boys! How I hate them! I hate, I hate Pop! I hate Crackle! And I hate Larry! Uh, they drive me to drink!" And then he takes several drinks from his coffee cup before putting it back down, and then going back into the spiel, very much along the same line. Doesn't seem to be losing steam at this point.
Oh, good. And
Around him,
so,
like the patrons, like you have a choice. There's a Minotaur that looks a real kind Minotaur actually, who looks pretty frustrated, uh, leaning over like this tiny little cup of coffee. Um, and then there's a few shady looking weasels sitting at like one of the other ones, and they're looking like they're getting agitated too.
and Wazzle takes a moment, considers very heavily, and then I'm gonna hold for a second to see real quick.
Oh.
So he listens and then very seems to just sort of vanish into the group. And after a moment, you hear a voice come from one of the tables. It's like, well, tell us what makes them such a pain. What did they do to you, buddy?
Okay, and Ben's like he looks like surprised for a sec, like because usually he just gets heckled. Like nobody ever tries to understand him. So he's like, they are escorting dear sweet. I did not come up with a name for her, so we're just gonna go with uh Dora Explorer. Oh my god, that's so silly. Uh, dear sweet Dora Explorer, how I love her. Map, a map to the buried treasure. Oh,
Treasure, what buried treasure? Tell us about the buried
he
treasure.
did not mean to mention the buried treasure, and he realizes he's pecked up. Uh, there's no buried treasure. Those Thunder Boys, though. Oh, how I hate them! And like you can see, like the weasels and the Minotaur have both perked up at the mention of the buried treasure. Um, and Ben is now getting an uncomfortable amount of attention, not just heckling, like actual like
Oh,
there might be buried treasure, but like I said, the Dunder Boys are escorting Dora Explorer, and I can't get to her map. And the Minotaur's like, "Yeah, you go ahead."
goes, well, why can't you just beat up the Durder? Let's go get Dora. I bet Dora could give us a. We should go get. Oh, this guy knows where Dora is.
Oh no, Ben, what are you going to do? Um, realizing that like the Minotaur and the Weasels are like, yeah, yeah, we should get him. So Ben, realizing that he's in a lot of danger right now, well, you see him like grab his coffee, and then he kind of disappears.
And he's getting away.
Minotaur rushes forward and like runs straight into the wall. It gets both of his horns stuck, and the weasels are like springing around trying to find Ben, and one of them actually bumps into like thin air and like falls back on flat on their back. Uh, he's invisible. Get him! Uh, and the other one comes in and tries to clock the air on the noggin, but it whiffs. Um, but it was enough that now you can see that they bumped into it and spilled his coffee. So now there's like coffee footprints walking running towards the door. The weasels are in hot pursuit, and as soon as the Minotaur like pulls off this bit of wall, he's running after him, and presumably all four of them leave the coffee house in quite a rush. And
Oh man.
And there's a general round of applause from the rest of the patrons in the house, especially Peake. Uh, she's like, yeah, woo! Yes, yes. It's going to take so long to repair that wall, but oh my gosh, that was worth it.
And
Oh, oh,
Wazzle goes, "Oh, don't worry, I've got you covered." And he casts mending on the wall.
oh, that's amazing. Yes. So, like the bricks actually kind of reform and swallow up the hole, and the brick is all back together now. It's awesome. And she's like, okay, yeah, that was good. That was really good.
He goes, I was just hoping to get him all riled up. I was not expecting things to go that fun."
Oh, I really hope we read about that in the newspaper tomorrow. All right. Well done, Waz. Oh, man. Okay, you know what? I think that calls for a little bit of a break. If you want, here, follow me upstairs and I can show you the room you can use to crash.
uh, sure, thanks. And he goes, "Actually, okay if I grab a brew for myself?"
Up, sure. Take what you want.
And he, for a second, wants to like he wants to look cool and grab one of the experiments,
Hmm.
but then he thinks better of himself and then just like grabs the strong one.
Okay, sweet. Do you drink any of it?
Yeah, yeah. He sips at it as they head
Okay.
on up.
Okay, so for the next, let's see, if you roll 1d4 plus 1, you'll have advantage on perception checks
Ooh,
for that many hours. Okay, so for the next 2 hours, you have advantage on perception.
cool.
So it's a very effective pick me up.
Nice, nice, nice.
All right. So she takes you upstairs and at like the bottom, the shop, the coffee house area. While it is a very organized chaos, it's also very kept pretty clean. Peak, while she doesn't enjoy chaos, does not like mess. Apparently in the coffee house, but once you get upstairs, it's another thing. There are like knickknacks everywhere up here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just all scattered about. And she kind of like takes you through like a little trail through the knickknacks over to like a door, opens it up, and inside is a tiny but fairly cozy looking little guest bedroom. Uh,
And Wazzle, actually, make an insight check.
okay, go for it.
You make the insight
Oh,
check.
me? Okay, I make the inside.
Yeah.
Okay. 8. She's busy.
Um.
Like there's some knickknacks that are on the bed that she put down and forgot to take off earlier. So she's like, "Oh, great." So she's busy moving those things around the room and getting them out of the guest room, so he can actually sit down on the bed.
And he's looking around. He goes, "Wow. Huh, you're a collector, huh?"
Ah, you can say that. I used to work the streets more often than having like an established gig like this.
Uh-huh. Street selling what?
Not
Porcelain unicorns?
uh not so much selling, more the opposite, finding and
Uh-huh.
procuring.
He goes, well, it is a delightful aesthetic.
Thanks. I try. Uh, but yeah, it reminds me of being around on the street earlier, because, yeah,
It's good to have reminders.
yeah, it's good to have reminders. And
Um,
anyway, I mean, you're not the first person I've housed up here for a night or a week. But yeah, the sheets should be clean. Uh, and though the floor here tends to stay pretty warm because I think we're right above experiment day. Uh, so yeah,
well, I'll be honest with you. This is probably the cleanest place that I've slept in ever. So, works for me.
great. All right. Um, okay. So, uh, anything else you'd like to talk about? I mean, you being down on your luck, I know it's a hard place to be, and usually I'm more along the lines of making problems than trying to solve them, but uh, I've got two good ears if you just want to talk about it.
Mm, he sort of leans against the wall and hesitates, thinking about it. He goes, "Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just being weird about it. One of those things where like, feels like suddenly gotta solve problems, and I'm like you. I'm a lot better at making them. Now
Hmm.
that I've started solving problems, don't wanna anymore. Then I feel like a jerk.
Hmm. Well, what's stopping you from making problems? Just make them for the right people.
Well, the group I'm traveling with, they're good people,
Hmm.
but he is sort of rolls his eyes. Kind of a bunch of goody two shoes.
Oh man, how did you get yourself worked up into this?
I really wish I could trace the dumbest decisions I made that ended up here. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that really gets my goat is I don't think I even need to go back. Like I already did the stuff they need from me. Right? Like I could just not go back and it would be fine. And yet when I think about doing that, I don't feel good. And I don't feel good about going back either though, and
Hmm.
everything's complicated. I don't like feeling stuff.
Yeah, and like Peake has kind of just taken a perch on the end of the bed. Um, and she at the moment she's just kind of listening. Um, she waits to see if if Waz is going to continue, and then kind of puts some thought into it herself. Hmm. Don't feel good about going back. Don't feel good about leaving. Hmm.
They're these hero types. I'll be honest. I'm not sure how many brain cells they've got between them.
Hmm. You thinking you're pretty much the brain cell of the group?
Oh God, no.
Oh.
um, but I don't know. Sometimes they get too caught up in the right way to do things and need a bit of a kick in the pants.
Oh yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I'm not so sure they'll get a whole lot done.
Hmm.
It's not them I feel bad about going back to. It's just knowing that some point down the road and all this good deedery, I'm gonna end up having to face off against. the old man, and really, really don't want to.
Hmm. So don't. I mean, if you really don't want to face off against him, just don't. Yeah. As long as it doesn't, leave you with regrets in the end.
That's the thing. I've been doing everything I can to get away from him. It seems like uh, the fates have been sort of forcing me there. Like, I don't know if I pissed off your misfortune god or something like that, but there's been some wacky circumstances that have just popped me up right in front of him, and I don't know how much choice I have about avoiding him.
Hmm. Yeah, it does sound like her. Then again, there's a whole bunch of gods who like meddling with the affairs of mortals, so could be any number of them. Huh.
I've never been much of the type to put a whole lot of stock in whatever folks are. I don't know, probably not even watching over us, just having fun with us when they feel like it.
Yeah, the Peak just kind of nods along, like, yeah, yeah, that's true. I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing, though. At least they're keeping things interesting.
Certainly interesting.
But,
How
so
long
you,
have you been with yours?
oh, with mine? Um, oh, geez, it's been about 5 years now. Uh, yeah, I found like this old book in a library and listed like some of these older gods for Inkwell. It's in a really rough shape too. But I like, you know, things like that, things that have been forgotten or, you know, left aside or things that are considered maybe worthless by other people. And it mentioned, this goddess who just caused trouble because she could, because it made life interesting. And I thought that it was so completely different from how I'd been doing things before that it made sense not just to survive, but to like really lean into being the villain, causing problems. Because
Yeah,
it's something that the world needs. It's part of the world. It shouldn't be neglected, but it often is. So
yeah.
I decided to try and establish a little bit of that chaos around myself, kind of on a daily basis. And I mean, it's definitely not been easy, but I would definitely say it's worth it.
Wazzle thinks about that for a moment. He goes, "Yeah, I guess." You know what's funny?
Hmm.
Feels like a lot of tunes have gotten caught up in the right way to be a tune when the whole point is that it takes all kinds, right? Get to do whatever.
Oh yeah.
There's I feel like for the happiest place, yes, it really could use a little more the not so happy
Hmm.
just to keep things worthwhile.
Yeah. Not about the balance, mind you, but that really does kind of sound like It's so sappy, but if there's bad stuff in life, it shows you what the good stuff is. That sort of thing.
Mm, right, that is pretty
Ex-
sappy.
Extremely sappy. Don't mention to anybody I said it.
Oh well, we'll see. I'll keep that under my hat until
Okay, fine. Um, but yeah. Um, well, the evening rush should be starting soon. Uh, you want to take like a 30-minute break here and then we can see it start the chaos?
Sure, sure.
All
Thanks.
right. Okay. So I think Peak would then leave Waz in the room along with all the porcelain unicorn knickknacks and other strange odds and ends. And if that sounds good to you, I think that'd be a good place to leave it.
I want to have one last thing happen
Okay.
because as Pete goes downstairs, there was no dinging bell, but there is someone waiting at the counter,
Oh.
and it is someone who
Okay.
is fairly tall, fairly mysterious, stranger kind of thing. It seems like somehow there's a dramatic breeze blowing around him despite being inside.
Oh, nice.
Um, and he goes, "Ah, hey there, kitten. Do you mind throwing me a cup of your strongest brew?"
Huh. I can do that, but how strong are we talking?
He goes,
Oh my god! Oh my gosh, excellent. Okay, yeah.
and he goes, "It's a coffee shop, ain't it?
Hmm.
Darker and more bitter it gets, the longer it'll keep me going."
I hear that. Okay. So she decides to okay, first off, tune kind? Real kind.
See, that's the thing. You aren't sure. He looks fairly real kind, but if he is real kind, he is the most overdramatic real kind you've ever seen.
Nice,
So,
nice. Okay, yeah. She is gonna go straight back into the back room and go for a nice cup of experiment B just to see what effect this will have. Okay, he asked for the strongest cup. Here's the
did.
strongest cup. All right. Here is the strongest coffee we have to offer. And she sets the cup
He
down in front of him. That'll be one
he
gold.
turns and slides her a platinum. He says, "Thanks there, kitten. Don't you keep the change?" He gives it a strong sniff and goes, "This is a special brew you've got here."
Yeah, one of a kind.
And he takes a sip of it, and there is a long pause where he goes, "Oh, that's right. You do know how to brew up something truly unique. Thank you for that." And so you're pretty sure this guy is very real kind looking Franken.
Okay. Nice.
Um,
Didn't die. Excellent.
didn't die, and he leans in and goes, "Well, since you've fixed me up with such a lovely brew, I wonder if I can ask you for something else."
We got pastries.
"Oh, I'm not looking for something especially sweet. See, I have been looking for someone, and a little birdie told me they may have come through this way."
What kind of someone?
Hmm, dark hair, short, maybe a little bit of a troublemaker.
I think you might have missed
Ever,
him actually. He just ran
oh
out
yeah.
of here in a hurry.
Um,
He had
make
a he had a
make either
yeah, he had
search.
like a probably would be hard to miss him. He had a minotaur and two weasels on him.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Though, what would you want with that guy?
Well, I'm under the impression that he's got something valuable that an employer wants. Now, I am not necessarily looking to get right on his tail. What I want to know from you is if he said anything interesting while he was here.
Mm, you said a lot of things, mostly in repeat.
Hmm.
Um, seemed to have some business with the Dunder Boys.
Oh, oh, you're talking about. No, no, no. I'm not looking for that guy. Um, what was the description I got? Some little bunny came through this way,
Ah,
I
okay.
hear.
Well, can't say I've seen a bunny today.
Get a deception check.
Yeah. 21. I guess that would be
Nicely
against
done.
his, yeah, against his insight, I suppose.
Yes, I suppose so. Insight. Actually, wait, did I? Hold on. It's actually got. Okay, that's a nat
Oh!
20.
Hot dang!
Um, and he leans in closer. He goes, "Come on now, kitten. The whole thing about brewing up a nice cup of coffee is that it's bitter, it's dark, doesn't give you anything but the dark truth. So, how about get a little more honest?"
Can you make it worth my while?
He glances down at the platinum he already offered you. He goes,
She doesn't look impressed.
he cocks his head to the side and goes, "Now, be honest. I don't like making trouble, especially not for a fine establishment, especially one that makes such a nice brew."
Hmm. At the mention of trouble, like you can see, her mouth doesn't really move when it talks, but at this point, like the grin does widen quite a bit.
He goes, "Again, I don't need you to tell me where he went. I just want to know, come through here, what's he been saying?"
Hmm. Uh, he's been saying that no two-bit, real kind-looking mother pecker is going to be taking any sort of stance in this bar, like they have any business trying to get any information from me when I'm not willing to give it. And she kind of flicks the platinum back in his over onto his side.
He laughs and downs the rest of his coffee. He goes, "Oh, I can respect that, kitten. But I'm afraid these things are going to get a little more messy here on out." And the goggle sort of thing he's got over his eye lights up. Um,
Oh, dang, okay.
let's see. And he suddenly his attention snaps upwards in the direction of the room upstairs where Wazzle is. He goes, "Ah, interesting. If you'll excuse me." And he starts pushing for the stairs. What do you do?
Oh boy, oh boy. Um, she is going to walk over to one of the spigots for the coffee, like she's making room for him, but she adjusts it so it's pointing to the side and then puts it up on full bore. So there is
Oh,
suddenly, of the strongest coffee, just a geyser coming out of the spigot at this guy. Basically,
um, I feel like that needs to be a roll of some
I
sort.
would say maybe a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, sure, sure.
A 16.
16.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say that's probably good enough to. I'd say. Do you think he would go forward or back, like jump back out of the way?
He is trying to get to the stairs, so he would sort of do a tuck and roll forward to get
Okay.
out of the way.
Okay. Yeah. Peak is going to cast spiritual weapon.
Oh,
Bonus action. A giant. Gosh, I've never really settled on one thing for this, but okay, yeah, giant ceramic porcelain unicorn appears.
I love it.
Um, yeah, it's going to be blocking his way, and it is going to make an attack at him.
Okay, roll for it.
Awesome. Okay, it's going to be melee spell attack. Okay, so it's going to be a 21 to hit.
Ooh, that will hit.
Nice. Okay, and that does 1d8 plus. Wait, proficiency. What is? Oh, there we go. Okay, 6 points of damage. While the unicorn is clocking him, she is going to slip on up the stairs in front of him, and she makes like one of those extremely loud whistles, uh, just to kind of alert Waz to that there's something going on downstairs. Uh, at that sound of the whistle, all the other patrons down below in the coffee house also take notice, and there is a sudden shuffle and a scuffle, and they lift up boards below the thing. They open up like secret doorways in the side of the house, and some just like run out the front door. Uh, but it's basically just a sign to scatter.
um, in response, as she has started to scurry up the stairs, he is going to come up behind her and make an unarmed strike against
Okay.
her.
Okay.
15 to
Yep.
hit.
Yep. That hits.
Okay. And that is 7 points of damage, and
Oh my
he is
gosh.
going to spend a key point to stun her.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I believe that's a wisdom saving throw, correct?
It's hold on. Stunning strike. I believe it's a constitution.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
Okay. Not her best, but let's see. Oh, dirty 20.
yes, yes. So thankfully, you feel your muscles tense up from where he hit you, but you shake it off before
I'm
he
gonna,
can do it.
yeah, I want to say like
Um,
some of them, but like with her, she has kind of like detached limbs. One hand comes up and smacks her across the face and like snaps her out of it. Um,
nice. Unfortunately, he gets 2 attacks per action,
okay,
so he's gonna try again.
okay,
Um, another 15.
okay, yeah, that hits.
Uh,
Okay, four
that's
damage.
4 points of damage, and yeah, make another con throw.
Okay, let's see what happens. 11. Ooh,
Oh,
Oof.
unfortunately, you were able to shrug off the last one, but the second one manages to catch you, and you feel all your muscles seize up
Oh my gosh.
as he sort of catches you. Like he doesn't let you fall. He goes, "Sorry about this. It's just business." And he rushes up the stairs past you.
Okay.
Um,
Oh boy. I suppose maybe we should roll initiative now?
yeah, probably.
Okay.
So for him, it's
Okay, so
17.
Peak is on 17. Oh.
He rolled
Oh,
four.
that one! Misfortune, thank you!
Oh, good job, Misfortune.
Oh, nice.
And 14. Okay. So I will say because he just had his turn, he gets to spend her
Well, she's
turn
gonna. Yeah,
stunned.
yeah, she's stunned.
Yeah. And a moment later, like actually, as he's getting to the top of the stairs, Wazzle actually bursts out and he goes, "Hey, no roughhousing in our establishment!" And he has his short bow drawn.
Oh,
Um,
nice. Yes.
he will make. Mm, oh, that is his armor class. Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think that meets it, so it beats it.
Yes, he makes the hit.
Nice.
Um,
Also pretty darn
um,
good. Yeah.
yeah, that's some good damage, and you even though you're down on the floor, Pete can see this guy. He's limber, he's smooth. You get the feeling he is not hardy, because he's already looking a little bit worse for wear.
Oof.
And he goes, "Listen here, bunny boy. I want things to go nice and smooth. You don't need to make this messy."
Mm.
And Wazzle goes, "Buddy, you beat up my boss. I don't have a choice in this matter."
Oh, if Peak was able to focus now, she'd be so touched.
Aw. Um, and it, uh, he considers a moment. Goes, "Wait a second." Sort of takes a step back and goes, "Interesting." Huh. He actually pulls out his platinum again, tosses it towards Wazzle, and goes, "For your trouble." And then he pulls out a scroll of paper. He goes, "I think there's been a misunderstanding here, fella. Read up. Someone's got something to say to you."
Wait, what? He got the wrong. What?
And yeah, turns out Becca was not here to like take Wazzle away or anything. He just wanted to
Oh.
deliver a message.
Oh my god. Oh. Okay.
And
Need to find a better
he
delivery boy. Ah.
he thought that that Peak was actually like, keeping Wazzle for ransom, but then Wazzle just like
Ah.
comes out and defends her, so he's like, "Oh shit."
Oh my gosh. That's great. That's the best misunderstanding. The kind that comes with blunt force trauma.
Oops. And he takes a deep bow. He goes, "Oh, my apologies for all the trouble." And he looks back down at Peake and he goes, "Oh, well then."
Okay, if we're officially out of turn order, like six or like 12 seconds later, like Peak is finally able to gain control of her own limbs again, and stands up and looks at him.
He goes, "Well then, seems you do run a pretty fine business after all. My apologies."
Well, it hurt, but it was interesting.
Hmm.
Um, there's a floating ceramic unicorn floating up the stairs. Uh,
um, and he gives it sort of a glance and he goes, "Well, suppose I'm not welcome here any further. But then again, I've left my message after all. I understand if the answer is no, but do brew a fine coffee. Should I be
uh,
allowed to come back sometime, or has that bridge been
hmm. I'm not really one for burning bridges, unless it's really, really funny. So
burned?
you can come on back, and
I
pretty much that's
appreciate
it.
your
Yeah, the unicorn kind of floats out of the way of the stairwell, but she keeps it up.
yes. I appreciate your understanding and mercy. I'll be out of your hair. And he pulls out his wide brim hat, sort of tips it, and sidles out. Wazzle like still has his crossbow up because he just came out and saw the chaos and just like, oh, oh. Hmm.
Hmm. Well, that that was an interesting day.
Yeah,
Ow.
yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, let's see here. Um, he didn't hit you, did he?
No, he didn't. Who? Yes, I didn't give a name. And
Yeah.
he goes to like, she's on her feet again, but
Mm-hmm.
it still looked like she took a nasty hit, so he's gonna help her find a place to sit and shake it off.
Mm-hmm. The spiritual weapon is just still kind of floating about. Um, she just seems overly fond of having it out at this point.
It does lend a certain energy to the place.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Oh no, well,
So all that to deliver a message. Gotta say, they probably could
yeah,
find a better delivery boy. Still, again, interesting.
yeah." He more fond of metaphors than communication, but
Hmm.
and was kind of like looks at the scroll and tucks it away and he goes, "Well, I'll check in on that later. For now, Bing Rush got scared off."
Ah, seems like it. Looks like I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cleaning up. Hmm. At least
Oh,
nothing too much got damaged. Oh crap! I forgot to turn the coffee off. She rushes back downstairs to turn the spigot off.
oh gosh. And I think probably that's an okay place of just scrambling to
Yes. What a way to finish it. Oh, that was great. Oh, yay!
Yay!
All right.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, thank you, Uni. That was a lot of fun.
yes, thank you for coming up with the idea of these two interacting. That was delightful.
Oh, absolutely. And thanks for our audience for coming in and listening to shenanigans.
Yes, thanks everyone. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did because that was great.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I'll go ahead and end the recording over here.